Hello, everyone. It's Marni Penner, and I'm an anxiety and a social anxiety coach. This is my very first anxiety podcast. I have done one Facebook Live before, but that was about a year ago, and I haven't done anything ever since. And so I was asking myself, well, Marni, why do you keep postponing these Facebook Lives? Right? Like what is stopping you? Why aren't you doing it? And I realized that I had an association with performing. See, I took a lot of music lessons as a child, voice, singing, and saxophone, and I had to do a lot of performing, competitions, um, everywhere. I had to perform everywhere. And every single performance, what it entailed was practicing, as much as I could until it was perfect, performing, in the same perfect manner as I had in practice, and then over analyzing after the fact what was perfect, what was not perfect, what can I learn, what can I do better next time. And so I had an association that if I do a Facebook Live, this is like performing, which means that I have to practice all day. It better be perfect. And then I will be spending all night over analyzing it, just like I did with my music performances in childhood. But I really want to do these live podcasts. So last week I asked myself, I said, what is stopping you from doing these live podcasts? Um, and I realized, well, it's because they have to be perfect, and that would take up a whole day. And then I said, well, is that true that they have to be perfect? This kind of reminds me a lot of my social anxiety clients who believe that they have to be perfect in order for people to like them. So what would you tell your clients, when they're socializing? And then it all became very clear. It's not perfection that's attractive. It's honesty that's attractive. I realized that all I have to do is, press the go live button and be honest, and it will be good enough. It will be attractive, right? It's honesty and authenticity that's attractive and not perfection, right? And so let's go to the topic of this podcast, right? Now that I'm talking honestly, without having practiced, right? I did one run through and I said, Marni, remember, it's not perfection that's attractive, it's honesty that's attractive. And I have tons and tons of honest things to say, right? So let's ask ourselves this question. Do I have to be perfect for people to like me? Now, I used to have this problem, and a lot of my clients have this problem. And, for example, I would meet a new person and I would ask myself, well, how do I have to act for them to like me? I'd better be perfect. I better be a certain way. I better act a certain way. I better feel a certain way. I better talk about certain topics so that they like me. And then if someone started to like me, I said, well, why do they like me? What on earth did I do for them to like me, right? And what do I have to keep doing for them to like me? And it was always kind of in the back of my mind that there's a certain way to be that people like, and I've got to attain that so that people will like me and that they will continue to like me. And, that was a lot of pressure. And over time, what I realized was that people aren't attracted to perfection. They're attracted to honesty. They're attracted to authenticity, right? They're attracted to people actually being who they actually are, saying what they actually think, saying what they feel. So let's look at this a little further. So one of the ways to be honest is emotionally honest. And so what this means is that what we're feeling on the inside is reflected on the outside. So right now, for example, it's later than 9 p.m. here in Europe. I am tired. I'm doing it anyway because I don't care. I can be authentically and honestly tired. That's also attractive. Right? So the thing is, what we often try to do is we try to show an emotion that's different from what we really feel. So I'm feeling tired, but I'm trying to be all bubbly and happy and, be someone I'm not, right? Or I have a problem in my head, but rather than telling the person that I have a problem, I'll pretend that I'm in a happy mood with no problems in the world, right? That's not attractive. What's attractive is actually saying, oh, I've been having a bad day. Or, oh, I have this conflict in my mind that happened with my mother this morning and I just can't get it out of my mind. Oh my gosh, you don't want to hear what the details were, but it just keeps, bothering me, right? So I didn't have to tell the details, but I was honest about my emotional state in the moment. What's also attractive is honesty about ourselves. So me telling you that I have been postponing Facebook Lives because I associate Facebook Lives with performance, and I associate performance with being perfect, practicing all day until it's perfect, and then performing and making sure it's just as perfect, and then overanalyze after the fact. I didn't have to tell you this honesty. But the thing is, this honesty is attractive, and it enables me to actually understand why I have been postponing these podcasts, and it enables me to demonstrate that it is honesty and authenticity that's attractive, both in Facebook Lives and when we're talking to people in person, right? So yeah, I'm going to check who is on this live. If you have any questions, maybe write them into the comments. Even if you're watching this after the fact, you can ask questions and I'll answer them. Or if you have any topics you'd like me to do podcasts on in the future, then you can write those as well. All right, thank you for listening, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.